Hey, what's up guys, Shockwave here, and welcome back to another video. This one is a second video relating to the Ninth Doctor range at Big Finish. In the last one, in case you missed it, info cards should be up there, and I ranked every Ninth Doctor box set, but not the stories within. This time I'll be ranking every story within the box sets. And for this I'll be using the tier list website, and as you can see I have created one with every artwork from the story, and it is public, so I think there's a slight issue with the tiers. It goes fantastic, pretty good, okay, bad, and then it says D. Because it wouldn't let me get rid of that one, and I couldn't think of another one. But as far as I'm aware, you can change it whenever you get the template. But essentially, it's public, so the link will be in the description if you'd like to do your own, just for fun, or if you want to, show us, then you can send it on Twitter. Our Twitter is SK Productions. I think it's at SKP Official 24 or something. So, yeah, don't ask why I don't know our own Twitter app, but yeah, send us on there if you want to make your own, or just comment your own, but that would be quite a long comment, so no pressure, but anyway. And just a disclaimer, every opinion stated from me in this video is my own, and it's okay if yours isn't the same. Let's begin. Series 1, Volume 1, Ravagers. Starting with the Sphere of Freedom. Now, as you all know, if you watched the last video, I don't love this box set. It just seems like it tries to do too much, and it can be hard to follow at times, but it's still a decent listen, so I think I'll just put this one in okay. Next we have Cataclysm, which was the second part, as in this box set, it was one of the rare times all stories were linked together rather than being standalone, so considering that, it's still going to be an okay. Food Fight, I like this the most, actually, so it's going to go in pretty good. Ooh, website's being a bit weird there. Now, you're probably thinking I'm rushing through this a lot. Well, yeah, there's a lot to get through, so, Series 1, Volume 2, Respond to All Calls, starting with Girl Deconstructed, and I adore this one. I've re-listened at least 3 times, and I'm actually due another re-listen, because it's been quite a while, but I remember thinking it was just a solid 8 out of 10 every time. Really, really, really cool concept, and quite sad if you think about it, but anyway, a thing about this review is, ranking, is that I'm not going to spoil any of the stories, so if you haven't listened to them, I don't really know why you're watching this, maybe you just want to know how good they are. But yeah, I will not be spoiling any of the stories, so don't worry. Either way, I'm going to put this one in fantastic, because, yeah, I really, really liked it. Next we have Fright Motif. I wasn't the biggest fan of this one. It was okay, so you can guess where it's going. Planet of the End. Honestly, such a fantastic story. Genuinely, I won't spoil any of these, as I said, but if you want to start listening to the Ninth Doctor range at Big Finish, start with Volume 2 of Series 1. Which is Respond to All Calls. There's no listen order. The thing is, with this range, you can pick up any box set any box set you like without having to worry about its continuity or anything. There is no grander story or anything. They are all standalone. So yeah, it's a great box set with only one story that's slightly weaker, but you may enjoy it. So yeah, this one is going in fantastic. Series 1, Volume 3, Lost Warriors. The Hunting Season. A solid listen. I've re-listened a few times, which shows it's good, in my opinion, so yeah, I'll put that in pretty good. Then we have The Curse of Lady Macbeth. I have tried listening to this a couple of times, but it just never clicks with me. It feels a bit weak. I don't think it deserves bad. I didn't hate it, but I think it'll go in okay. Then we have Monsters in Metropolis, a very creative way of doing a Sidemen story. Again, you'll find out what that means if you don't know, if you listen to it. So yeah, I'll put this one in fantastic. Series 1, Volume 4, Old Friends, starting with Fond Farewell, the only story to be singular this time round, and it's pretty good. The second half gets a bit messy, but, I think it will go in here for me. Begin the 2-parter Sideman story, A Way of the Berryman, I think it's called, yep. I liked this one, but it wasn't anything amazing, so I think I'll put it in pretty good. The second part and final story of this box set and series is The Fourth Generation, which is very good, but I think it's going to go here just because it doesn't quite hit the fantastic mark for me. Then we move on to Series 2, Volume 1, Back to Earth, starting with Station to Station, a story that I really wanted to enjoy, but just couldn't. There was just something about it. I cannot put my finger on it, but that might just be me. You might enjoy it or have enjoyed it, but because I didn't really, I'll put it in okay. Also, I apologise, I keep zooming in and out. It's really tedious to try and get them in because I'm on mobile and yeah, just keeps moving the screen around. Then we have The False Dimitri, which felt similar to The Hunting Season, not only because both covers were red, but also just being both historical, and yeah, pretty good. I know a lot of people don't really like it, but yeah, what can I say? Then we have the Tentacle Ninth Doctor New Year's special, and for 2 years now I've been listening to it every New Year's Eve, and it's perfect. So, tier list wise, it's fantastic. Series 2, Volume 2, Into the Stars, starting with Salvation 9, a solid strong story, and it features the Sontarans with a twist. Honestly, one of my favourites, cannot recommend it enough, so you can guess where it's going. And we have possibly the worst story in this entire range. It was just underdeveloped, waste potential, hard to listen to, and overall unsatisfying. This one is going in bad. Yeah. I mean, you'd have to listen to it yourself to understand that, and I guess there's a chance you might like it, but I don't know, I really think that just missed the mark completely. So that is the only thing that lets down this box set. But the season finale does redeem this box set with technically a Ninth Doctor Christmas special, Break the Ice, which is a pretty good story. Series 2, Volume 3, Hidden Depths, starting with the Seas of Titan. I don't remember much about this story other than hating the Sea Devil's voices. They just sounded really terrible, and overall finding it boring. So yeah, this one's going in bad. Same with Lay Down Your Arms, just did not enjoy that one at all. I suppose I probably should have added a really terrible ranking bit on the tier list, but the only really terrible one is the first one in bad, so I don't really think it was worth it. The only good one is ironically one of my all-time favourites in this range, and that's Flat Pack. Honestly, such an interesting concept. Some could say simple, as I said last video, but it's done so brilliantly, I can't recommend it enough. Definitely worth picking up the box set for, if you've got the money, because bear in mind the other two stories are terrible, so I mean, obviously, yes, there's a chance you'll like them, but Flat Pack is the only one I can promise is just really good, so up to you. But yeah, I'm gonna put that one in fantastic. Series 2, Volume 4. Now we're on to my favourite box set as of yet. I mentioned in the last video as this was number 1 on my list, and for good reason. The Colour of Terror. An extremely well-written, intriguing concept and story, starting off the saga, let's call it, perfectly, so going in fantastic. Next we have The Blooming Menace, which also links, I won't spoil how, it's not the best of the box set, but it's pretty good still. And then finally we have Red Darkness. This one was fantastic. Loved how they incorporated the Vashnarada. Yeah, wrapped up the box set nicely. As I said before, really recommend picking up Shades of Fear. Series 3, Volume 1, Pioneers. And for those who watched the last video, would know this box set is my least favourite, starting with The Green Gift. This relates to the classic story, The Green Death, hence a title similarity, but if I'm honest, the Tortured Monthly Range story with a similar title to the TV story, The Green Life, was a much better sequel, as it were, so if you're a fan of that classic story and you want more to do with it, or like a sequel, the audio features Joe Grant and Captain Jack, and it really works. I quite like it, so yeah. This one, however, just really not great. So what I'm about to say is an ongoing theme for this box set, which is I wanted to like it, but just couldn't, so it's going in bad. Then we have The Northern Lights, and actually I was liking this one in the first act, but as it went on I found myself getting more and more separated from the plot and just could not follow along. I also did not like the resolution. It's going in okay, mainly for effort. Same goes for the finale of this box set, The Beautiful Game. If you're a fan of football and Doctor Who, it's almost definitely for you. If you're like me and you don't really care about football, then yeah, it's slightly harder to get into this one. I was cruel last video saying this story, it's not, I'm sure it isn't terrible, it's just not for me. So I'll put it in okay, as I know a lot of people liked it, and you might if you haven't. Then we move on to Series 3, Volume 2, Travel in Hope. A very good box set, starting amazingly strong with Below There, a fantastic atmospheric story. Very small cast, but it works perfectly well. So I'm going to put it in fantastic. However, in The Butler Did It, the cast is anything but small, and my only complaint about this one is it's sometimes hard to follow who's who, as yes, they've done that, what I like when there's a big cast in an audio and put every cast member on the art, but it's still hard to tell who's speaking if you haven't matched the actor's face and voice. Aside from that, it's pretty enjoyable, so I'll put it in pretty good. Then we have the very simply titled finale, Run. This was by far my favourite in the box set, which was very unexpected, but yeah, don't be fooled by the cover. Again, as I said last video, it's not an Ice Warrior story, but it is just bloody fantastic. Series 3, Volume 3, Buried Frets. A Theatre of Cruelty, my favourite in this set, really enjoyed it. Not sure I expected to, but yeah, I'll put it in pretty good. The next one, however, which is The Running Men, not so much. It suffers from a good start and then slowly gets harder to follow along, and then ultimately made me bored of the story by the end, so I'll put it in okay. Ancient History. Now, the only reason I didn't like this one loads is because I've never listened to any Bernice Summerfield audios aside from this one and the very recently released Dark Gallifrey, The War Master Part 1, I think it was called, which was her and the final performance, from David Warner. I know her and that Unbound Doctor have box sets together, so ultimately I knew going in I wouldn't appreciate the story fully because I didn't know the character. Regardless of that, though, it was still pretty enjoyable. Not perfect, but yeah, I was going to put it in okay, but I think I'll put it in pretty good. Then we move on to the final box set, as of now, but we know there will be more eventually, Starcrossed. Swipe Right, that was a great start, and honestly, unexpectedly going in, didn't think it would be anything special, but it was fantastic. I adored the commentary on AI and the inclusion of asexuality and how that linked to the plot. I won't say any more because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, really pleasantly surprised me, that one. And Face of the Apocalypse was the weakest of the set, but by no means bad, it just wasn't as good. So I'll put it in pretty good. And then, finally, Archipelago. I think I'm saying that right. I always struggle with that word for some reason. It will definitely take a couple of listens to fully understand and appreciate it, but I love this one. It felt like a perfect ending for now, not to mention this entire box set, but especially the story, delves into just how different this Doctor is for River to interact with. And let's just say it really shows how toxic their relationship actually is when you think about it. And the Doctor's speech, as it were, was just fantastic. Yes, I'm aware I'm saying that word a lot in this video, but it's pretty obvious why, so you can guess where it's going to go. So yeah, that is it for my ranking of every single Ninth Doctor story, as of yet, that is. I hope you've enjoyed this video, where there will be more Doctor Who themed ones in the future. And for those asking about MSM ones, yes, they are coming back. We just have had a couple weeks break from this channel, but don't worry, we have not stopped covering MSM. If you don't care about that, then don't worry, but thank you for watching. So, if you want more tier lists of, whether that's audios or, I probably won't do Doctor Who episodes on TV, because pretty much everyone has done that, so nobody needs another one, but yeah, if you want any more, comment below and I'll see if it's doable or not. So yes, it's goodbye from me, and I'll see you in the next one.